Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, I'm going to be doing an account tour as we head towards the end of the year. I did not spend on Cyber Weekend sale at all. And if you only take one thing away from this, is as we continue to prioritize the things that are important to me, what I want you to see is, because I know we're heading into a very exciting time of year. Even I am excited for the banquet, okay? Is that I really don't want people thinking, hey, if I whale this one time, I'm going to get this great competitive advantage or I'm going to catch up or something like that. That's not how this game works. And I'm going to show that to you over the course of this video. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Remember, I did not spend a dime on Cyber Weekend, no units, nothing. I currently have one 7-tier basic. And I do have the Radiance. My alliance is relatively competitive. We have a good time there. So I have a good chunk of Radiance. I could technically rank up one more champion to rank 4 right now. I think that's important for you to keep in mind. And you see, I have a variety of different class catalysts and stuff. So I am not hurting for class catalysts. I'm not hurting for catalysts. That's not the point of this. And then we'll quickly check at the champion items. And if you're new to this channel, you should know. Traditionally on the big sales like Cyber Weekend, 4th of July, spring cleaning, I whale. I go big. I usually pretty much buy out the store or get to the final milestones or something like that. On the smaller ones, especially the super expensive ones, I rarely even participate. As an example, on the Silver Samurai, not super, he was super though. Samurai sale. I stopped before claiming him. I had gotten my few items. I was happy. I was content. I covered it. Did my video, and I moved on. On the Heart of Fire sale, I did not claim Dark Phoenix. These sorts of things. So definitely more in the whale territory, but I don't want you to come away thinking like buys all the things all the time, because I want to be accurate with what we're reflecting. You can see I have some awakening gems. I've got way too many skill, but hey, that's RNG. That's how it works out. And we move on down through this with the 6 stones. I buy the 6 stones so with Radiance, I believe, and I think it's Battlegrounds. I don't remember. There's a bunch of different stores these days. And so now we will go ahead and look at the champions. I know people aren't as excited about relics. I do relics videos and things like that, but I'm not going to cover it because the intention isn't for this video to take too long. I am at the point where 6-star champions really don't matter to me anymore. They're really nice. I like them. We still kind of try to reflect them in various tier lists. I do tier lists saying about the best 6 stars to rank up, but as far as this video is concerned, I don't think they matter. You can see the champions that I do not own. I should have claimed the Dark Phoenix. I was so concerned about taking the stand and not showing Kabam. I didn't like it, that my channel members and viewers later can be like, you really should claim them. And then when Kabam says how that everyone else can get them, then you can rank them up. I learned my lesson. That's why I have Human Torch and I don't have Dark Phoenix. You can see there's a variety of champions I don't have. I will almost certainly be buying the Pravita Pravarkar, the Spider-Man pass, because he looks so incredibly phenomenal. I'll probably be getting a video out on that because I want to give some advice to people who are on the moderate to low spend side. I do think that is the best money you can spend if you're going to spend money this December. It's on that, not on Banquet, in my opinion, because he's going to be, he's very, very powerful. He's very, very meta relevant, and he is going to be ascendable. When Ascension goes live. You can see there's a variety of champions I don't have. I don't have Yondu, I don't have Scooper Soul, and those sorts of things. I also, though, am also hoarding my Titan crystals until the changeover. I've done a video on that and why I'm doing that, and I do think I'm going to continue that unless some sort of new information comes out. I do want Mr. Knight, so that's a little tough for me because I do badly want him. I do think he's very good, but you know, it is what it is. All right, we'll go ahead and look at let's go and look at my rank 3 champions, because again, I don't want this video to take a very long time. This is just supposed to be like a snapshot so you guys can see what we're working with. I do have a few champions at rank 1 or rank 2 that I'm interested in ranking up. And then, of course, because I will be participating in Banquet, I'm hoping to get Kingpin, of course. My units are pretty close, and I'm sure I will buy an Odin or 2, if not more, at the Christmas sale. I give my advice on that as well, too. That's in my Banquet video, which I'll link in the description so you can see that. And that will allow me to, I think, ensure that I get Kingpin. And then, of course, I'm going to be very excited about Hulkling and Scorpion. I'll get videos out on those as well. Champions that I would definitely consider, like if once the resources are coming in a little bit more, Undefari is going to rank 4 for sure. Like, no doubt. I would love to take Spider-Punk. In fact, I mean, all of these champions I eventually want at rank 4. What I'll point out is the ones where I'm like, I don't use them as much as I would hope, is Deathless She-Hulk. When I use her, she's amazing. I think she's a phenomenal champion. I just don't use her that much. I hope Kabam continues to give us places to use her. She hasn't been relevant for me in war or something like that. She makes my AUQ team, but that doesn't really matter because it's map 6. We just do a boss rush. But when she's usable, she's phenomenal. In fact, as I'm saying this now, and this is part of why I like to make these videos because it makes me think about them, is in Coliseum. I think she might be amazing for that. She was actually my MVP for my Deathless run in Necropolis. So hold that thought. I don't use Hulk nearly as much as I thought I would. He's incredibly powerful. He served his purpose when I took him to rank 3. He almost never even makes my battleground deck anymore. He's a great champion, don't get me wrong. That just feels like, especially as you go through competitive levels of things, the game is frequently asking for a bit more nuance than he has, which I guess fits with the character and stuff like that. The leader's great for when he's great. Outside of that, not so great. Morbius, I almost never use, unfortunately, but I covered that in a video. MCoC, I think when it comes to your more pure defenders or more leaning to defenders category, I think unless you're going to place them in your battleground deck, I don't recommend ranking them up at all. And that's been the case, is because he's at rank 3, he's not high enough to often make my battlegrounds deck. As a result, he just sits there. And Sentry, I'm hopeful for Coliseum to be able to use him. He's really actually very fun when you're able to place him in the right thing. It's like having the wrong type of car. Like if you have a Porsche, but all you have is dirt roads around you, you're probably not going to have a good time. He just feels like a great champion with not a lot of great places to use him. And moving on to the skill class for my rank 3s, I very rarely use Patriot. I do think Patriot's a very good champion. I do. I just very, very rarely use him. Atuma suffers from the same thing I just said about MCoC. Black Cat and Crossbones are ones that I'm constantly considering taking to rank 4. In fact, as you saw, I have the ability to take one to rank 4 right now, and they're ones that, like, you know, when I'm thinking about the game, I'm often finding myself thinking about them. Moving on to Mutant, I'm borderline shocked that I have not taken Dowsa to rank 4. It's really weird because she is an incredibly powerful champion. I even have her at high sig. I even like playing her, and yet I'm gonna go ahead and call it a skill issue. I think it's on me. I think it's on me because she is phenomenal. I just don't play her very much. Danny Moonstar, unfortunately, she came out. This happens sometimes with champions. I feel like they come out and they're good, but then it's like immediately stuff happens. Defenders, modes, these sorts of things. Maybe a new star variety. There's a lot of champions like this, and she falls into it. She came out, and then Bullseye came out, and I think like his evade can't be reduced by ability accuracy, if I recall correctly. I think that's what it is. Either way, her no, with her it's he can't miss. Sorry, I apologize. He can't miss. So her whole thing is gone. Her whole kit is just dead. And you know, him being a big bad skilled defender that you would want her to be great for, she's not. You know how I feel about Mr. Sinister and Havoc. I've been calling Havoc the MCoC cockroach for years, actually as a compliment, meaning like he won't go away. Him popping up somewhere like Battle and Brawl did not surprise me at all. And if you've been watching this video, you know this. I've told you how great Dust is. I actually really like all my rank 3 mutants. I'm surprised at how much I do, but outside of Danny Moonstar, I actually feel really, really good about it. And Danny Moonstar is actually great too. I guess I'm a little too interested in the meta, you know, the competitive meta. If I wasn't, it was just Story Quest. She's phenomenal. Cosmic, none of these champions stand out. I have no regrets about all of them. I use all of them when it's appropriate. I'm not very good with Gladiator. A lot of that's because I just don't play him very much, but he's a phenomenal, phenomenal champion. Incredibly well made, well, very meta relevant as well too. The one I'll point out, because I don't think folks realize how good she is actually Phoenix. I've been talking about her. I think even me and the Illuminati underrate her, but the Illuminati's very happy with where she's rated, almost like to a T. And I'm always like, I think we move her up just a little bit, and they're like, no. And if they all agree, and I'm just the only one, I have to feel very strongly to change the ranking. But I think she's great. I really love her. I think she just suffers a little bit too from that kind of like that meta thing, that overarching, hey, competitive, what defenders, blah blah blah, and she's a phenomenal champion. Healing's off the rails. She can do so much damage. I really like her, but I just don't play her as much as I thought I would. Moving on to tech in the rank 3s, I love tech. This has become my favorite class, which is odd because Mystic is like my favorite class to They're not my favorite class. They were my favorite class to play for so long. There's some other stuff that's happened. We can get into that at another time. But I love the tech class. I think they're so phenomenal. I don't think there's one that you feel like you have to have ranked. I think that's part of what I love about them. I truly, the Iron Man Infinity War is the only one that kind of stands out where like I just don't use him at all anymore because he's mainly a defender, and it falls into the same thing I just said about MCoC, and I think I said about Atum of like I don't have them at the highest rank, and therefore they just don't make my battlegrounds deck. So, but he did his job. I took him to rank 3 when rank 3s were very powerful and relatively competitive battlegrounds, and he was phenomenal for it. And I imagine he'd be quite good at rank 4. I won't take him to rank 4 because of how powerful the cosmic class has gotten, particularly at champions like him, where you want to parry non-contact attacks and things like that. But I don't regret it. He served his purpose. This class is just phenomenal. And then moving on to into Mystic, though Isophine, I just never use her. I just don't. She's not as good as I thought she was going to be. Okay, she's a very good champion, but she was one of the ones I got wrong in my CCP testing. I was more confident in how powerful I thought she was going to be. I got it wrong. I just did, mainly because she doesn't seem to crit as much as she did for me in testing, and that's on me. And I've talked about that in videos. The one champion that I kind of wish I played more, and if I get time, and I'm hoping to, because I should be on vacation for about 2 weeks here towards the end of December into early January. If I get the downtime, I'll be doing a lot of stuff with my family, so I'm not sure how much we'll be playing the game. I would love to learn to play Kindred better. This is a real gem that really interests me. They have tremendous utilities. They have a ton of healing. So obviously on attack in Battlegrounds, not too much use. However, they do have some relevance or meta relevance for some cosmic champions that often get placed on defense. And with the SP3 skip change in Battlegrounds, there's some massive attack values in Kindred's SP3. So I really want to play around with him more. I love playing the Hood. And of course, you guys know how I feel about America Chavez and that I love playing White Tiger too. Just a phenomenal class. I'm very overall happy with my rank 3s. Enchantress fits the exact same thing that I've said about every defender. The only difference with her is her AI is so wonky. She still sometimes serves her purpose at rank 3 because it's not that like it's more just like her AI was so bad for someone that whether she was rank 3 or 4 didn't matter. She damaged them because her AI just decided to throw specials into block and pull one of her 1 million spells, and that happened to screw them over. So it's less about her rank than it is about her AI and the way she's built. All right, now we're going to take a look at my rank 4s. I'm going to take a look at them as a group. And what I want you to see is that there are 24 rank 4s. Remember what I said about my traditionally going pretty much buying out the store in the big sales. We're talking about July 4th. We're talking about Cyber Weekend. We're talking about spring cleaning. The command probably has some other ones I just can't think of because they continue to come up new and fascinating names that you can't remember. Like, can you just call them July 4th, Cyber Weekend? Like, it'd be really helpful. But they don't want to do that, and that's fine. That's up to them. And that usually kept me more in the whale category, okay? There's all kinds of terms. I've used the term dolphin for, I don't know, 6 years now. There's all kinds of terms. I've used the term goldfish cracker for smaller spindles. It doesn't matter. My point is, I was never like the biggest spender, far from it, but I was more into that category for a variety of years, and my count was quite large. And this is what I want you to see, is there's 24 rank 4s here. I took a quick poll on my Discord server just to make sure I had some good roundabout numbers, all right? There are obviously some free to play, and some of them had between like 5 and 10 rank 4s, which makes sense. It's about like how we set up our minimums for my alliance upside, right? However, there are players who they're not like these krakens, is the term I often hear people using, who have like 43, and they can make more. Now they also play it competitively, a really high competitive, so they're getting more rewards, more radiance, and those sorts of things. But it was very normal for people to be like, I have a full battleground stack. I have 35. So somewhere between 30 and 40 is like the kind of that whaley high spender category. And this is one thing I always want to get across to my viewers is like, you got to be enjoying the game if you're going to be spending, because you got to keep spending. You don't participate in one sale and quote unquote catch up with the competitive in-game experience, because they're going to keep spending too. They're having fun, and I guess it fits with their means. And so just always keep that in mind. I've taken one sale, that's it. It was a couple months, and I missed, I think, something else small, but it was little. And then just one sale, and it was a big sale. It was a Cyber Weekend sale. My understanding is I think there was between 8 and 10 rank 4s available if you went straight for the rank 4 materials, which is what I usually do. And I'm down between 10 and 15 rank 4s from people. Just keep that in mind. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm looking to be helpful. As far as like, I think it would be most fun to kind of look at this and just say like, who do I use? And who would be my first rank 4? I mean, off the top of my head, it'd be really hard to not choose Spider-Woman. The more I play her, the more I fight against, the more I'm just like, this is, I don't love the throw the specials into the block stuff, man. I just don't. I'm not down with that. I really am not. Photon's so universal, or like, yeah, universal is a good word for Photon. I love Red Guardian, man. And I've taken him to Sig 160 and I'm feeling and seeing the difference. He's not the best in this group, but I think he's the most fun for me. He was my science most fun champion. So I think it would probably be him. As far as skill champions, I have a lot of great options, especially when we talked about like, if you're going to rank a defender for Battlegrounds, I think you want to take him to the highest level possible for the tier you're playing in. If you're only facing rank 3s very often, take them to rank 3. That's fine. I'm not saying you got to take them to rank 4. But for me, if as we move forward, I'll be facing rank 5s. And so there would be some part of me that considers Bullseye. However, I'm pretty sure it would be Lumitrix. I just enjoy playing Lumitrix. He's a real challenge for me. I'm not phenomenal with him, but I can get good results pretty regularly. He's a dual threat in Battlegrounds. I really do enjoy him. And I think he's going to be pretty good in not necessarily like Everest content, but in longer form. I've shown him against like over 1 million health pools. He's great. I really enjoy Chi, but I'm pretty sure it would be Lumitrix for me. And none of these do I regret in any way, shape, or form. Very similar thing. Onslaught, I think he's the best one. I don't know. It's really hard because Onslaught just feels so ridiculous in so many ways where you're like, oh yeah, 150% resistance. That makes sense to have on top of all the other things he has. Jean Grey's shield is bordering that. Like I've shown her taking hazard shift fights in Battlegrounds, or sorry, in War. And so her shield's bordering that. Let's call it 149% resistance, but I do think she's an absolute blast to play. Her whole like uncanny and the shifting power bar, like I've never seen that before in this game, and maybe it'll come up more. And I'm starting to think there's another champion who does it, but I can't remember. She's a blast. She's insanely powerful. Should sound missed. She's the real Mean Gene. I've gotten her to high sig, and I do think that's made a difference. She would almost definitely be the champion I'd take to rank 5 first in the mutant class. As we move on to Cosmic, as my account sits right now, it would be a tough call for me between Cole, Gallon, and Carolina. I don't miss any of them. I think Serpent, he's an interesting one. He deserves his own like 5-part podcast series. There's so many answers to him now, but he's still so difficult. But I don't enjoy him. I enjoy him because he's so absurdly powerful on offense. I don't enjoy playing Serpent because it's like a fun thing. I don't think he was supposed to be honest. I do enjoy Cole. I know that might feel conflicting for some people who are listening, but with Cole, I just feel like this big dude with a huge hammer just crushing stuff. I realize that sounds exactly like Cole Obsidian or like Serpent. If you've played them both, I think you understand what I'm saying. Gallon and Carolina they're just built different, man. They're so much fun. Carolina's probably, now that I've got her to rank 4 and Awaken, and I'm getting to play her a little bit more, she's just outrageously fun. She's just outrageously fun to play. And so I don't know. I'd have a tough time picking this on this particular group. Maybe by then I have Hulkling and we'll see how that works out. But as of right now, I don't regret any of them. I'm very, very happy with all of them. Another class. I told you guys, I love my tech champions. If you saw the rank 3 portion, you see this. I've got a lot of tech champions. I would consider tech to be my next rank 4 too. And I can't choose between them, so we'll see. I love all these champions, but I love Bastion the most. I love them all, but I love Bastion the most. Guardian hits a nostalgia spot for me, so it'd be tempting to take him up. Future Ant-Man's probably the one that most borders on broken in this game in general over a variety of modes. Stark is definitely broken in Battlegrounds. I love him. But Kabam's working their way towards making him not as usable, right, with a lot of their big meta defenders. Penny's a phenomenal dual threat. She causes problems for people all the time in Battlegrounds for me. And Zola's kind of similar to Kindred, where, if I get the time, during my vacation at the end of the year. Don't worry, I'm going to have videos out for everyone. Like, that's why my top 10s haven't come out yet. They're going to come out towards the end of the year. I think people will be around a little bit more. You know, you're hanging out with your family a lot and stuff. You might be like, I just need like a 30-minute break. I hope you pop in the video and you enjoy it. That's kind of my hope. I know that I'll probably be doing the same thing. So I'm hoping someone else puts out some good listening videos at that time of year. But Bastion's my boy. I absolutely love him. I will continue to put out videos on him. I continue to see people say like his damage isn't really good or whatever. If I engage them, I usually determine there's a few nuances in his kit that they weren't familiar with. And once they get those, they're like, oh, his damage is really good. I get what you're saying. And yes, I mean, like I just had over 50,000. It was closing in on 51K in Battlegrounds against a rank 4 Nico Minoru. Like, not that she has the biggest health pool in the world, but man, she's a pain in the ass. And that's the kind of stuff he can pull off without class advantage or anything like that. He's amazing. This is one of the few classes where I look at it and I'm like, that's my first rank 5 right there. And he's not a dual threat, which is usually how I go about those things when it comes to the first rank above a new rank. And then we move on to Mystic, right? Like, this one's really weird because I do think Nico's the best out of this group. I will almost certainly be getting Pavita Pravarkar. And I assume I'm going to like playing him as I get used to him. And I do think they're the two best Mystics. You'll see that when we come out in with the top 10s there towards the back half of this month. But I literally got to be like part of the design process with Kushala. And I really love that character. I truly enjoyed her from the Kushala, from the comics. This was a little weird that she doesn't shoot off the page for me, because Werewolf's the one that when I get to use him, he is the most fun for me. I went over this in my like most fun champions to play, and I kind of talked about why he was it. And I did notice some themes that the other two just kind of don't hit. This is a class where I truly don't know who I would rank up. This is the exact opposite Tech, where as much as I love Tech, Bastion's my boy. This one, I'm like, I kind of love them all. I don't regret ranking any of them. And if you followed this channel since day one, you know that for like 80%, 85 to 90% of the time, Mystic was by far my favorite class, by leaps and bounds. And it's just kind of what's happened between their relationship and Cosmic that's made me not enjoy them as much. And I think the relationship between Tech and Mutant, and how there's no Tech that feels like necessary. I feel like I have a variety of ways, like even Captain Britain, who I can't stand. I'm like, I have a variety of champions, not a lot, but I could pick a few different that could handle it. And they could still handle other mutants as well. I'm not sure exactly how to phrase that, but I think a lot of you do understand what I'm saying. And so when it comes to Mystic, although I have a bunch of champions I would love to pick and to rank up, I'm not sure who it would be, but I do not regret any of these rank 4s. And there's quite a few Mystics I still obviously want to take to rank 4. Yeah, I'll probably be getting out a video on like the best champions to rank 5. It won't just be like my own personal choice. It'll be like, here's my suggestions and my recommendations. So this was a little bit of like who I would rank 5 as well as an account tour. And like I said, if you're going to consider whaling, go for it. Have fun. Make sure you enjoy the game. You really make sure you set your budget as well. And keep in mind that you don't just whale once and then you're good. It's like, if that's the level you want to play at, you're going to need to stay there. As usual, let me know what you think I got right. Let me know what you think I got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.